Hey CCSU, so let's look at navigating Collaborate as the moderator. So first thing, if we look at the session menu, the only real important feature here is the start recording. So you can start your recording of your class if you were to do that or this session using Collaborate. You can also leave the session through this menu. Next big menu is the Collaborate panel. So we click on the two arrows or less than symbols, and this is where you have a lot of control and option. The three dots next to your name won't do much. You can choose to make someone a captioner. That gives them the ability to live caption or type out what is being said in the class. If you click on the three dots next to any of your attendees or students, you can send them a private message, make them moderator, make them a presenter to give them sharing options, or as also make them captioner, or to even remove them from the session. See you later, Beast. The next thing you can do from the attendee panel that's important, if you click on the three dots at the top for more options, you can detach the panel or you can mute everyone. The next tab would be if we look at chat. So if I want to chat with the class as a moderator, I have a moderator chat and then an everyone chat. So I'm going to click on everyone, and now I'm talking to the class. You can go in the share content as the moderator. You can share the whiteboard and use your whiteboard tools. I can draw on the screen. I can make shapes. I can use the type tool. And I can change the color of what I'm typing. And if you use the select tool, you can select an item and then change its size, make it bigger or smaller. You can also hit the delete key to erase it. So that's kind of a nice feature to be aware of if you want to change the size of something. If you use just the pointer tool, you're just pointing things out. You can't control or move anything. And the last button is the clear, so that clears the whole screen. So remember, if you want to delete something, then you're going to use the pointer tool to select it. Now you can either change the size or just hit the delete key on your keyboard and it will disappear. This is also the stop sharing button to stop sharing the whiteboard. If you're going to share an application or your screen, you can share your entire screen. Make sure the share audio button is clicked if you want to share a video or a sound file. If you share an application, you can do that and just share one open application tab. You can also share individual tabs in Google Chrome. Okay. So if you're going to share an application window, one thing to point out, if I'm going to share my PowerPoint screen, so I'm now sharing this in Collaborate. So the students are seeing just this screen. You can see it popping up there. When I make this full screen now, my students see this in the Collaborate, but I can't see the chat or anything because my entire screen is taken over. The only way around this would be to have two monitors so that your second monitor would have your web browser showing the Collaborate panel. Alternatively, what you can do instead of sharing an application is to share a file. So now, instead of sharing the application where everyone sees my screen, which then potentially prevents me from seeing the Collaborate panel, I'm going to stop sharing the PowerPoint application. and instead I've uploaded my slides to the share file option. So now, by uploading my PowerPoint file, if I share the file, I can pick which slide to start sharing. That's going to show up on the screen. And now, as I'm working with my class, I can have the chat open as I'm going through my slides. So I'm going to stop sharing these slides. I'm going to go back to share content. So we did the whiteboard, we showed the application or the screen. Sharing the camera is likely more for if you attach something or you have a separate camera that you wanted to share or project something. That's how I would use that. Share files, we talked about this already. Here's our polling options. You cannot do polls in advance. Okay. Remember, you have the easy, quick feedback of the room by using this feedback panel. The students see the same exact thing down here, but you could set up quick yes or no questions. I'm going to switch over to a student view so you can see what they're seeing. So they get the poll question to pop up. They can answer the poll. That poll button comes up so they can hide it. You can see Beast got kicked out, so that's what he sees. So here's the polling data. When you click show responses, that shares it with the entire room. And then the end poll button will stop the poll. And then last is the breakout groups, which are in another YouTube video. Last on the panel is your setting options. You can redo your camera and microphone if something doesn't seem to be working right. You can modify the notification settings. So when you see pop-ups, I'll give you an example. Beast is about to join the session again. So as Beast joins the session, he's raising his hand. You see the notifications that he joined. His hand is raised. You can lower their hand on the pop-up quickly. And so those are the notifications that you could choose to turn off. And you can change whether you hear a noise, whether it's a pop-up or not, whether someone raises their hand. So all of that is available to you to modify. Under session settings, these options are things that you can set before the session starts, so then you can come in later and stop people from sharing audio and video or posting in the chat. So you could turn that on or off on the fly while you're teaching. So there we go. Hope that's helpful as a nice walkthrough of your options as moderator of your Blackboard Collaborate. Thanks.